Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and kick things off here, and Stags28 using that Vanilla Guimond, the Dragon Warrior 1 Hero Sprite, JJ Schmidt representing Dragon Quest 3 with that male hero sprite. Wow! Alright, so you get to escape and you get to escape, and I imagine they're going to choose to save the MP, although it's not really going to do much for them right now, but there you go.
Yeah, MP is refillable. Oh, wow. Charlock and Tanagal are about as close as they can get without being right on top of each other. That's an interesting start with a cave nearby, and we're going to see what it is. Looks like it is maybe tablet, based on the movement that JJ Schmidt had. And
yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
So, Stags28 looked like he took out a Drakey pretty fast and is now tackling the Scorpion, opting to run away. JJ Schmidt, Magic Drakey, followed by a Red Slime, going to take that out, getting closer to that 5 XP required for the next level. And it looks like Stags28 may be doing a little... Oh!
This is Mountain Cave.
This is absolutely Mountain Cave. Very nice. And a Metal Slime. First Metal Slime sighting.
Alrighty, well, if he crits this, I think this gets him to level 3. We have, of course, added the Scaled Metal Slimes flag, such that that excellent move, he is going to go ahead and take that out. So, just as JJ Schmidt gets to level 2, I do believe this will take him all the way to level 3. So we're going to see 15, 7, 9, no... level 4 and no MP. Oh boy, here we go. Story of the tournament so far.
And looks like there is another cave off to the east. JJ Schmidt ran into a wizard on the way there, so in a little bit we'll be able to see what it is. Stags continuing to explore the mountain cave in the dark. I must say, for one of our, I wouldn't say newer players, he's been around for a little while, but he's definitely stepped up his game. This dark walking is pretty cool to see. And we have a key. Nice.
Wow, that's massive. He's got money. He's got 2 keys now. Oh, and JJ finds a key and money in the treasury, so spending his key was not detrimental to him either. So both of our runners now have access to printing keys, and it's interesting that they both did it in a slightly different fashion, but both able to get access to that early on. So you really like to see it. The one difference, though, is that Stags, now taking this Death Warp, is actually going to be able to start a gold grind for himself. Now, of course, we haven't seen any towns yet, but that option will be available.
That option will be available. Also available to him is the knowledge of exactly what's in Mountain Cave. So it's not much of an advantage, but it does take a few minutes to explore, and he's in a pretty good position right now at the beginning of this match.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out also is that JJ ran into that wizard not very far away from Tantagel. Like, it could have easily been where you would expect to see Zone 1. But that wasn't the case. And so it looks like, you know, as we think about eventually they're going to have to go back and get some of these early levels. JJ taking a peek at the opposite continent, finds a cave, and... I thought it would have been pretty tragic if he'd actually gotten away from that blue dragon, because he wouldn't have been able to take another step to see what it was. But we know there's at least something over there. But they're going to have to kind of figure out where these zone boundaries are, because we know by seeing that wizard that that's not Zone 1 over there on the other side of Charlock. That's a totally different zone. So it's looking like Tantagel might be kind of straddling the lower right corner of Zone 0, maybe.
That's what it looks like to me. And JJ taking out... Oh! Magicians have the baby breath. Found that out the hard way. And we have Stags28 doing a gold grind. Interesting to see what he's going to go up to. At this early level, being able to maintain that gold and make it to a town that you don't know where exists is kind of a gamble. He may just opt to grind to double flame sword territory, save, and see what he can do, only losing a couple minutes in the process.
Yeah, this is interesting because this does give him a few options. If he does somehow make it to a town, like, say, for example, Cantlin, he would be able to pick up, Broadsword, Half-Blade, Silver Shield with this money. He is a little bit short of double Flamesword money, but would still be able to make several decent purchases, even if he does die once or twice. So, interesting value to stop on 18,000. And again, we'll just have to wait and see what he's able to do with that. And look, there it is. There's right there, just one tile east of Tantagel. We just saw a wolf, so that has to be Zone 1. It would be so interesting to be able to see the zone borders in a post-game analysis on this. You can already see just how close Tantagel is to that zone boundary.
And JJ Schmidt up there in that desert was pretty much in Zone 0 and may still be. Wow. Do we know where Stags28 is? He's underneath Tantagel, and I'm not sure what that is. Is that Swamp Cave or is that Erdrick's grave?
Yeah,
it's Garen's grave.
It's Swamp, because that's how JJ got to the opposite continent earlier before dying to that blue dragon.
Very nice, very nice. And so all 3 keys in chests have been found already, as well as 2 chests of gold. So there's going to be a lot of other fun stuff to find out there. Yeah, Stag's going for the Spark Over tile. Going to search it, validate the seed. Nothing there. One of those days there will be something to find, but not today. Taken out by a Wyvern, unfortunately, and sent back. Ooh, resets to save that gold.
And I think that's the right call. He didn't gain any experience. He gained a little bit of knowledge. Didn't quite see that cave up there that JJ Schmidt saw, so we'll have to see if that becomes relevant later. Metal Slime here for JJ Schmidt. Probably going to have to crit this thing. We didn't see if it has any abilities or not. It has 1 damage on it already. And he crits it!
And being level 3, he gets 96 experience and level 5, I believe?
Oh, and just like that, he leapfrogs right over Stags28 to pick up level 5. The early hurt more. He's going to get level 6 right here, and we are off.
Level 5 brought a massive 1 MP. We'll see what... Oh, level 6 brings 1 more. This entire match, they have increased their MP total by 25%. Let's hear it for our runners.
Up to NG out there in chat memeing about the way the Metal Slime is, put a little bit of a gap in between our runners here, but one that I don't think is insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. It is a little bit unfortunate that it might be a while before Stags. I mean, he's kind of running around holding on to this money, which is not the worst play in the world, but the longer he chooses to do this and not gain experience, the longer it's going to be before he gets access to hurt more, and JJ can, of course, potentially widen that gap.
Absolutely. So with a total of 12 MP at level 6, they can cast 2 hurt mores, which, given the enemies in the overworld, is not necessarily a terrible thing. We've seen the wolves. Those are pretty good hurt more targets right now. Red Dragon, definitely not. And unfortunately, I think JJ Schmidt is going to be going back home. Was that Red Dragon in the Swamp Cave? If that Red Dragon is in the Swamp Cave, then wow, Stags definitely got a little lucky on his trek through Mountain, since Swamp and Mountain share a similar, or correction, exactly the same enemy set.
Yeah, I had to step away for a moment. I didn't quite catch where that red dragon was. Chat noting that 10 minutes into the seed, it feels like we've covered a decent amount of this map and no towns. A little bit unfortunate. All towns through Swamp Cave in the corner. Yeah, it could very well be. Yet another metal slime here on JJ Smith's side, but it is going to take him out. Didn't have a whole lot of MP left, and we know that Stags, I mean, it's looking like you have to go east, and just as soon as you get on the other side of Charlock, these wizards just plague your every step. Stags really just holding on to that gold for dear life. We can see the results. I mean, you know, the JJ hasn't found a whole lot of Hurtmore targets yet, but again, the longer that Stags goes without gaining experience, you know, he needs to find a town, and it just immediately if he wants to kind of keep up in this early going.
Yeah, that zone 1 off to the right of Tandeville, just north of Charlock, I think is a great place. Oh, Wraith Knight, that's a great Hurtmore target right now. That's 72 experience and puts him very close to level 7. And off to the east, we have the Rainbow Drop Cave, guarded by the Jerk. And Aaron, to you two, I think that maybe what's going to happen is they're going to search around and eventually find Townsville somewhere in the corner of the map, and curse their luck that they didn't find it sooner. But right now we've got a pretty good race. I'm liking this slight bifurcation of the path they're taking. We have Stags28 doing what he can to preserve that gold grind that he did earlier, and if he is able to find a town and spend it wisely, it will give him a great advantage in the exploration and experience gain. Although we do have JJ Schmidt making level 7 right now. 2, 1, 9, and a new spell. So now he has 4 Hurtmores at his, or correction, right now he still only has 2. But he will be able to carry out with 4 and get a little bit more experience that way.
Yeah, and interesting point about the bifurcation of their routes here. Stags has decided to go back into the mountain cave and try to pick up some experience there. Now, of course, these metal slimes are here, but he had also seen some skeletons and druids and things that you would normally be looking for in zones 1 and 2. But then, of course, these metal slimes are here, and if Stagsy's got 2 damage on this thing, it can run away. If he could just take this out, that would get him hurt more. It would be so big. There he does.
There it is. 160 or 128. My goodness, I can't do maths tonight. 128 experience, level 6, the spell of Hurtmore, 12 MP, and he's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
So again, the MP is lacking a bit, so we can see JJ Schmidt on level 7, still only 21 MP, but they have pretty much every spell in the book except for heal. Oddly enough, sitting at 40 HP, heal would be one of the more useful spells they could have, but everything else going for them right now. 29 strength doesn't really matter too much when you have that Hurtmore spell. You're still going to be able to pretty much destroy anything in front of your path with Reckless Abandon. And I'm not sure if we've seen what this cave is. I think I heard you say that we had seen the Jerk. I might have been looking away for a moment.
Yeah, that is the Rainbow Drop Cave right there. And he has found his grind spot for this. Oh. Unfortunately, he's going back to refill his MP at the cost of half his gold. But he'll be able to go out there. I do believe those Wraith Knights are a great target right now. Right next to the castle, easy to get to. And you know there's a gold grind available when you need to do it. So just get the levels now and go for the town once you find out where it is.
Yeah, and this is where it can be a little bit unfortunate going for that early huge gold grind gamble. Meanwhile, raid from Randomania 3. Thank you guys so much. Welcome in viewers from one of the previous tournament races. of course, we have here for you tonight jjschmidt77 versus Stags28, just kicking off. Not a whole lot of action so far. You can see we do have pretty complete spell list here. And again, Stags28 holding on to that gold for so long. Finally now giving it up now that he's got that hurt more spell. Doesn't really care too much about buying some weapons. He still has enough money that he could buy himself like full plate and a large shield if he were to find a town. But it's really looking like they're going to have to head east and dodge these wizards.
True, true. And also get through that swamp without the spell of heal and only heal more with their low HP right now. Well, low HP right now. Let's see what level 8 brings us. Ooh, only 3 hit points, but another 18 MP. Drastically improving their chances, nearly doubling their MP total. So he may take a Death Warp and then start trying to go through that swamp to the east.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate when now Stags is trying to move southwest here. I'm not sure if we've seen any significant progress made in that direction. It's really looking like this seed is trying to funnel our players through one area. Now, this seems like a pretty decent zone. It looks like he's found zone 2 here. That hurt spell coming in handy against these warlocks, because again, their strength is still pretty low. Don't want to waste a hurt more here. Almost wonder if Stags doesn't maybe try to stay in this zone. No, he's still looking for a town.
That looks like he is. He was... Oh, another metal slime for him.
That's the 4th in 4 different zones I feel like we've seen so far. Metal slimes everywhere.
And we have our first town. It's the town of Cantlin. Awesome.
And now Stags is kicking himself. He has to be kicking himself because there it was. Flame Sword right here, and with keys and access to both the other shops, probably going to find some decent armor options. Oh, that's just so unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's desperate enough to hit the reset and try to get back down there with that full 18,000 gold. Based on the fact that he hasn't done it yet, I doubt that's going to happen. He is going to check this other shop, likely fill back up on keys, and oh, nope, just going straight to check what's there.
Yeah, he might have wanted a large shield for himself, but no dice. So does see that silver shield though, so could come back for that.
Now, setting up a gold grind with the mountain cave right there will not be terribly difficult. And they haven't found Garen's grave yet, which means that gold grind a little bit later on is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, although you almost wonder if it would in fact be better to set up the gold grind out of the mountain cave now, since of course you have had that outside spell all game. It makes diving the grave pretty quick, and then you don't have to try to find something on your way out. We'll have to wait and see if Stags decides he wants to do another gold grind. Definitely not going to reset, would be giving up all the experience he's gained up to this point. We didn't quite catch. I didn't see magic armor. I'm not sure if maybe full or half plate was available, but again, plenty of good targets for
I
gold
believe
grinders.
magic armor was in the northern shop.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that.
I could be wrong. And he's making it to the old wise man who tells us that we need to go search. 12 to the south and 30 to the west. I think that is eminently countable from where our players are, and he is going to immediately take the Death Warp and go back to do that count right now.
Yeah, I think that seems pretty countable. They've got that repel spell, of course, with no armor, not a whole lot of defense to speak of, but won't be tripping over slimes or drakies at the very least. And already going to go ahead and start counting. Runs into a Drakey, says, I shouldn't be seeing these things. And meanwhile, JJ now, Death Warping out of Mountain Cave, will be able to do a gold grind if he wants, but he hasn't been south yet, so he wouldn't have seen a town. So we'll just have to wait and see what he decides to do. I think he might just be able to get this all done in one go here. Looking not terribly difficult.
And we find the silver harp. So the first of 3 items required to enter Charlock Castle, the other 2 being the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's Token. At some point, our runners will come across the shrine where they trade in the silver harp for the Staff of Rain, and then bring those back to the Rainbow Drop Cave to the east of Charlock Castle in this map, where they will trade in for the Rainbow Drop and thereby gain access to Charlock Castle. And Lavkin, do you want to give everyone an overview of what else our runners are looking for?
Yeah, so aside from the required quest items, of course, we'll be looking for Erdrick's Sword and Erdrick's Armor. Erdrick's Armor being probably the most important thing. You're going to want to mitigate that Dragon Lord 2 breath damage. And then, of course, hopefully be getting a shield at some point in the near future. They do have that Death Necklace, another one of those important potential search spot items. Of course, giving you plus 10 attack power at the cost of 25% of your max HP. And then, of course, somewhere out there, that Fighter's Ring for plus 2 attack power, the Fairy Flute to put golems to sleep. All of those things can be useful, but the most important thing, of course, is Erdrick's Armor. Virtually required, unless you want to go up to level 25 or something ridiculous like that.
I've seen it a couple of times, and yes, they definitely have to go up to a pretty high level, because you will be double heal mooring pretty much every round that the Dragon Lord 2 uses that Dragon's Breath. And speaking of dragons, we have JJ Schmidt running into a blue dragon, sending him back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think he was pretty close to where Cantlin is, and just didn't manage to make it over there. And this is just one of those unfortunate situations where every direction our runners have gone so far. If they go east, they run into wizards. If they go south, they run into dragons. JJ Schmidt went north after going through Swamp Cave, found a blue dragon up there. Everywhere they go, they just keep running into these Charlock monsters, and it's really stunting their ability to explore the map.
Even worse, they're running into the Charlock monsters that are not susceptible to the spell of Hurtmore that they gained at a very early level. If these were Axe Knights, if these were green dragons, our runners would be just loving it right now. But unfortunately, they're stuck with enemies that are slightly more resistant to the Hurt spell and unable to be taken out. Wolflord, though, is a great Hurtmore target. While we were talking earlier, jjschmidt77 did reach level 9, another lackluster level when it came to stats. Fortunately, they have all the spells, but not really anything else they're looking for right now. But again, another metal slime.
This must be the 5th metal slime we've seen so far. Already 2 damage on it. Can he pick up? I think we're 1 and 2 right now. Does run away. Could have finally gotten the max 255 experiences the scaling had. Oh no, Stags! Oh no! Oh!
I'm not sure if he just lost count or if he was out of herbs, but he knows that there's a town there, and I imagine he's going to be going right back.
Yeah, I think I saw him chopping on some herbs earlier, so maybe had run out of healing. But yeah, very unfortunate. You hate to see it. Just getting bopped right before finding a town. And, maybe it was just Breckenary, you never know, but it could have been Cole, could have been Hawk's Nest with an Axe Knight, could have turned things around. We'll just have to wait and see. Stags, I imagine, is going to be headed right back in that direction, picking up level 8 for himself along the way.
And, running away from the wizard, very nice. And finds a warlock. Easy XP. Stags28 picked up level 8 with that fairly substantial MP gain. Unfortunately, he won't have access to it until he stays in an inn or dies. Uses one of his 2 heal moors that's available to him to continue this trek. Surprised he's not hurt mooring this target, but there we go. And we have the town of Breckenary on jjschmidt77 side. This is a different town than what Stags28 was next to in the swamp. So what Stags28 was next to is not going to be Breckenary, and will therefore be something actually interesting.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of towns here that are just easily missed. JJ still, he got thwarted on his first attempt at going southwest, was probably half a screen away from Cantlin at that time, and Stags, having not quite gone south after crossing that swamp, missed out on Breckenary, and is probably still just trying to get back to that town that he saw before. And again, all of these nasty, nasty Sherlock monsters just keep sending our poor runners back home. Meanwhile, taking a look at the experience here real quick, Stags has been pretty diligent about keeping up ever since he picked up that Hurtmore spell. So I want to say at one point it was about a 600 experience lead, now down to less than 300 after taking out this Wraith Knight. Very good job by Stags here to keep him pace.
Very true, very true. Unfortunately, the Stone Man blocking the runs is getting sent back. I feel for him because I know he wants to get back to where he was, one step away from that unknown town. And unfortunately, this overworld, especially in that direction, is full of just the most intense Charlock monsters.
Yeah, it seems like even though we haven't quite put that bridge down yet, all these monsters learned how to swim. Not sure how that works with the Stone Man. Maybe he just steps right over the moat. Not a big deal to him. But once they manage to get into this swamp, it does look like the zone tames out a little bit. So maybe we'll see Stags here. He just needs to go a little bit further south and maybe kind of paint this coastline a little bit more. Sometimes you want to kind of try to keep the coastline at the edge of your screen so that you don't miss things. When you're walking right alongside the coast like Stags is here, that sometimes makes you miss certain things. Now, of course, in this instance, it's just, quote unquote, just Breckenary. But we can see JJ Schmidt using Breckenary as a little base for himself here.
And we have found the town of Hawksness. Now, they don't have a lot of HP, but with the spell of Hurtmore, there's a couple monsters on this tile that could be great value right now, both for discovering what's underneath them and getting a few levels very quickly.
Absolutely. You're going to go ahead and top off here. Still without that heal spell, has to use so much MP. Ooh, Green Dragon here for JJ Schmidt. Pretty nice. Stone Man here. Once you use that sleep spell, I don't think you can actually win this fight. And especially, missing that Hurtmore, 0% chance at killing this thing. Stags is going to try, but you'd have to crit this thing twice now.
Oh, and there it is. Stone Man with the punch more, sending Stags28 back to the castle. Death should not have taken thee, and Stags goes, did you see the Stone Man?
Meanwhile, level 10 coming in here for JJ. 5, 1, 26, and 2. There's that giant HP boost we've seen in a lot of seeds. MP still... The other stats still kind of mediocre. It looks like we found the grave as well. And oh, baby! JJ Schmidt finding himself that big stick. So if he does decide to do a gold grind out of... I didn't see if you checked the Breckenary weapon shop to see if maybe there was a silver shield or magic armor there. But if he decides to do a gold grind now, that's one less slot that he has to fill.
And with 70 HP, now you're in the realm where most enemies will not be able to kill you in one hit, and most won't be able to kill you in two. So going for a, say, 15,000 gold grind to look for the silver shield is not necessarily a bad idea because you have a much greater chance of making it to a town with it.
Yeah, I think the few monsters that could really two-shot you at this point would be, you know, Golem, Red Dragon, AK-47, that kind of thing. All monsters that we have not seen very much of, and this grave is pretty loaded. Stones of Sunlight, still one chest left to check.
And definitely shows that we will need that deep grave dive that some runners are loath to do. Although with the spell of Outside, I don't think either of these runners will be too opposed to it.
Yeah, no, easy enough to get out. Haven't seen any monsters that would be easy to death warp off of just yet. But again, JJ Schmidt in this position may want to take a death warp out either way. It does still have enough MP for that outside spell, but alright. Okay, gonna go ahead and just say no, I'm not gonna cast outside here. I'm gonna take this Wraith Knight. I'll 72 experience, thank you very much. And then that can actually use, with only 21 defense power, that Wraith Knight actually should be enough to take him out. Unless, of course, the armor's down here.
But if the armor's down here, I doubt he's worried about, oh no, the death warp might take a little while. And it's only a dragon scale, so it was armor, but not as much.
Yeah, a little bit of defense there. Neither of our runners picking up that dragon skill just yet. And yep, now gonna go ahead and kill the Wraith Knight. Interesting choice. He's still, I guess 4 Wraith Knights could get him to level 11 if he really wanted to. Maybe just trying to be efficient with his resources. I mean, HP, you do want to kind of consider a resource, and you can try to get yourself a little bit of experience as you take this death warp. But gonna go ahead and fall just short of taking out this Wraith Knight. Wraith Knight obligingly sends him back home. And now, I don't know if JJ Schmidt checked the treasury before, but I have to imagine he'll do it now.
I do believe he saw it earlier, and he's going right there.
It is really unfortunate that he has not seen Caitlyn yet, because, okay, gonna go ahead and do this gold grind now, so he may have seen something in Brecconary. We know he's gonna have to find Caitlyn eventually, because Caitlyn gives you the Silver Harp location, so maybe he'll head south and find that now. We'll just have to wait and see.
That we will. And I feel like a bad commentator for not seeing what was in Brecconary, but he's going to at least 15,000 we're seeing right now, and we'll see how much further he takes it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not, you know, it's like you said, it's going to be hard to just get completely destroyed on the map, barring some kind of sleep shenanigans. But going up to 19,000, I thought he might go all the way up to 22 or 23 for magic armor, but it looks like he's content to potentially get himself full plate and a silver shield. Now I'm really wondering if he saw both of those over at Brecconary.
Definitely a possibility. Not much of a difference in terms of raw defense that the magic armor gives you over the full plate. However, the magic armor does reduce the damage of the Hurt More spell, as well as gives you a little bit of healing on the walking. So compared to Erdrick's armor, it's a little not as much of a bonus as you would think, but the defense of the full plate is definitely substantial, especially with as little defenses he has right now.
Alrighty, so it looks like he is heading right back to Brecconary, making that beeline, and oh look, okay, Townsville alert.
2 towns on Stag screen. Cole, Garenham are both still definite possibilities, as well as Rimalder. All 3 towns will have something that of use to our runners. And we do have Garenham.
Alrighty, so having only seen one old man so far, we've seen both the Grave and Mountain Cave Swamp, so I'm pretty sure at this point we have to find a lit up cave. I think the only caves that are left are the Shrine Cave and Stones of Sunlight. So Stag's probably hoping to find Sunlight Cave back here. And then, of course, we know there's one cave on the other side of Swamp that I don't think either of our runners have seen yet. So that makes just about every location known at this point, just 35 minutes into the seed. Not every location is known by both players. We don't have a whole lot left to find.
True, true. Not sure what the next town is going to be over there. Oh, there is Erdrick's Token. Very nice find for him. If the Shrine Cave is right here, that's one less place he has to go back to. If it's the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, which it actually is, then that's one more chest that has the possibility of having Erdrick's armor in it. And unfortunately, it's empty. Probably a key or an herb.
Alright, so unless I've miscounted, that puts the Shrine Cave on the opposite continent that JJ Schmidt saw before and couldn't quite get to. So we know that's going to be an important location. There's Rimeldar, so Cole potentially having an important item buried there is still at large.
And the Silver Harp on the Overworld search tile. I did Curse Belt in Romalder. So not much there other than 180 gold, which will more than cover the cost of the 2 keys used to get to it here in Romalder. Silver Harp on the Overworld. Let's hope JJ Schmidt, or he hopes JJ Schmidt, finds that before he goes to that other cave on the other continent.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure JJ Schmidt's aware that he needs to go south here pretty soon. Could potentially head over in... Actually, wait, now that I think about it, did Stax ever make it back to that cave that he died, or that town that he died just outside of? Because... Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's some other cave over there on the opposite side of Swamp Cave. I don't know what that is, but we have Shrine Cave right here.
No, it could be a single continent seed, to be clear. The town that Stags was at earlier in the swamp was Hawksness.
Okay, so that was Hawksness, so we do still not know the location of Cole. And in fact, yeah, it does look like it's a single... Unless Stags came through the Swamp Cave and I missed it, it looks like we may have a single continent seed here, as that is the cave that JJ Schmidt saw before. So we've seen all the caves, have not seen all the towns just yet.
And he did find Swamp South, so this is a single continent seed. Wonder if he's just going to go to the spike tile and see what's there, maybe grind a little bit.
Yeah, if it's an Axe Knight, I mean, not only is that brilliant information to have, but this is the perfect time to try to get a little bit of experience under your belt. Does have that half plate for a nice bit of defense. And gonna have to contend with a Stone Man first.
Is able to get away, and he finds... Oh, no. It's the Fun Police.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see here. Between... going for the 1 and 16. Very nice. Wasn't going to make too much of a difference whether it landed or not. But now that means your grind options are Red Dragon or Stone Man. Stone Man notably does have that Baby Dragon Breath, so... Assuming that we find Erdrick's armor, which I believe at this point can only be in Cole or in Charlock. Oh boy,
yeah, knowing what we do, having seen all the chests with the exception of Charlock, the armor is either in Cole or in Charlock, as you mentioned. Stag's going back to, he's finding Breckenary for the first time.
Yeah, you've never gone down that way before.
And I do not believe jjschmidt77 has found the town of Catlin yet.
Yeah, no, he still hasn't gone southwest from start. Still just kind of trying to complete this eastern portion of the map that he's been through a few times now. And gonna go ahead and go back, check back into Breckenary again. Been doing a really good job of using this as a base, again, kind of compensating for that middling amount of MP that he has. And Beta Strep noting, I'd rather almost grind an Overworld Zone than Stone Men. I get that. I feel though like Stoneman with Baby Breath is a little bit more of an attractive grind, but it really does depend on how much attack power you have. I mean, if you're looking at 110, 120 attack power, you know, we could potentially even consider that Red Dragon as a grind option, but we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of game left to play.
And speaking of Stonemen, we have jjschmidt77 finding the town of Hoxness, finding that Stoneman, much better position to take the Stoneman out, significantly more MP and strength, and having Erdrick's sword as compared to Stags when he first found this. So this might be... Oh, Stags has gone back to Hoxness as well. This could be a location for Erdrick's armor. And instead, it's nothing.
Yeah, so Stags hadn't uncovered what was in this file yet, and so JJ Schmidt getting the news that it's nothing. And so again, confirming now that if the armor is outside of Sharlock, it has to be in Cole. So our runners are going to want to find Cole as quickly as they can. Now, JJ going this way, I want to say that Stags looped around and came from this way before, so there shouldn't be anything out here. Which means that if we're going to find Cole, it's probably going to be south of where Cantlin was. I'd have to imagine that JJ is going to be covering this portion of the map pretty quickly, and then the next time he heads back to Tantagel, he just needs to go south, and I think that's where we're going to find him, everything.
Could be. I thought I saw Stags heading further south from there, but oh man. Watching two screens at the same time, it's sometimes a little confusing. We have... Oh, this is a new place that I have not seen yet, I do not believe. A little bit of a peninsula off to the left it looks like he's going to check out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd seen this either. It looks like he headed east pretty far and now is able to head south through this swamp and hits a dead end. So we'll have to see if there are any more branching paths here. Closing in quickly on level 12 is JJ Schmidt. And meanwhile, thank you so much to Randomania for the raid. Welcome in viewers from the previous race. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the last race of the evening. JJ Schmidt, Stags78, Stags28, putting on a great show here. Slight recap for all of you. We did have Wings, a torch, and the key to start had the spell of return, so plenty of options for our players to keep that key. Stags finding more keys in Mountain Cave, while JJ found a free key in the treasury, so they were able to get a little bit of gold for themselves, find some weak monsters to beat up, and get off those starting levels. I do believe we got Hurtmore at level 5. And JJ Schmidt hit that a little bit sooner than Stags did. And so that puts us pretty much where we are now. Stags doing his best he can to keep up in the experience race, but JJ is starting to pull away. And now JJ, with no resources, has finally exhausted all of his options, does use that pair of wings. And now I imagine he's got to go south at this point. There's really nowhere else for him to go.
I agree. Also to the viewers, I don't know if you've noticed, but Stags28 has the Staff of Rain and Erdrick's token, and jjschmidt77 has the Stones of Sunlight. It's been a interesting... Our runners have taken very different paths this seed. Stags28 finding the Grave of Garen, which we know has both Erdrick's Sword and the Stones of Sunlight in it, so he's going to gain a small exploration advantage right here. The Jerk Cave is easily found, so he will be ready to enter Sharlock very soon, assuming that there's no surprises that we have not seen in Garen's grave yet.
Absolutely, we'll have that rainbow drop access. Yeah, the only place that we have not seen yet between both our runners is Cole, which is the last place that the armor could be besides Sharlock itself. Here comes level 12 for JJ Schmidt. Let's see if this is a good one. 2, 3, 22, 2. That's the second time that we've seen 20 or more hit points out of this particular seed. So almost DL2 ready in that regard.
But
and not going
unfortunately,
south.
oh, he is not. Wow. So 93 hit points is a lot, but unfortunately, as you can see, all of the other stats are in white still. So the way the tracker operates is that stats in white means that you are not ready to meet the Dragon Lord. When you're in orange, you might be ready to meet the Dragon Lord depending on the status of your other stats, and green means that you are good to go. So the hit point stat you will see go green right about 97, which is about the time you can take 2 maximum damage Dragon Lord 2 breaths wearing Urgic's armor in a row without dying. Strength, we're looking for about 130-ish attack power total, again, depending on your other stats. An NP commiserate enough to survive enough rounds to take the Dragon Lord down.
Absolutely critical to be able to do that math as quickly as possible, or just take some, build yourself a little cheat sheet, which is what I did. And wow, JJ Schmidt boldly attacking this wizard on 32 hit points. I don't think it could have killed him, but I'm not sure I would have done that myself. Really trying to maximize those resources there, as with 43 strength, even Erdrick's sword is a bit like wielding a can opener. Not terribly effective, but now finding that Townsville area that Stags had found, so he's going to be able to pick himself up that token. Still needs to find Cantlin so you can get those coordinates for that harp.
Rather unfortunate, too, because we do know the Staff of Rain Cave is nearby this little mini Townsville. So he's going to find the Staff of Rain Cave and not be able to turn it in right away the way that Stags28 was able to do.
Hoping maybe to find a silver shield there, but no, you're gonna have to head to Cantlin for that too, buddy. Eventually it'll happen.
And Stags28 now, with the knowledge of where a silver shield is, it'll be interesting to see what he does coming out of here. Does he go out the normal way, or does he take the death way?
Osmati, Tablet Cave is, wait, have we seen Tablet? We both thought Tablet was the cave right above Charlock, but that's actually not what it was. So no, I don't believe we have seen Tablet.
That is true. Yeah, we have not seen Tablet Cave. Uh-oh, and we have a prediction starting in the channel. Is the armor going to be in Charlock? Yes or no? Place your bets. For those who want to hedge their bets based on what the most likely outcome is, we have found the Death Necklace. We have not found the flute yet. We don't know if there's something in the coal search spot yet. We have only found one cursed belt, to my knowledge. I believe the one that was just found in Romalder, that Stags28 found a little bit earlier. So there's no guarantee that there's anything in coal. If there is something in coal, there's a 50% chance that it's the flute. There's a 50% chance that it's the armor. And if there's not, well, we've only not seen 8 chests, 7 of which are in Charlock. Oh, I'm sorry. The prediction is actually armor, flute, and coal. It'd be interesting to see if there's actually something in there, or else everyone's going to get their channel points refunded.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that Cole has anything. I believe we've only seen one cursed belt so far this seed, which would basically account for the harp. And JJ stumbling upon that cave that he saw I was gonna say over an hour ago. It hasn't been that long. About 45 minutes ago, and we do have territory here up to the north, and so we could find coal up here potentially.
Stags28 finding another metal slime, unfortunately got away from him. And he goes out the normal way, does not take the death way.
Yeah, still wanting to hold on to all of that money for as long as he can. Virtual high five here for our runners as they both do a little bit of dance in the swamp around that old man. Stag's just making sure that he hadn't been there yet. And he knows now that that is, in fact, the Shrine Cave. So Tablet's still out there somewhere, most likely in that southern landmass, again, where we saw Cantlin. Eventually, one of these days, we're going to see one of our runners head back down that way. And I at this point, it seems like the only nook that they haven't explored yet. Meanwhile, JJ boldly going after this blue dragon here, going to cost him most of his resources, I have to imagine here. Does pick up that 180 experience for himself.
And he finds a spark over a bridge that we know does not have the overworld search tile on it, because Stags28 checked it out earlier. Still has not found the town of Cantlin. Wow. Beta pulling out the math with a 9 out of 256 double hurt more miss on your Wraith Knight. I'm not sure how that makes sense to me, but I'm surprisingly not a math guy. So our tracker mentioning that they've both been to... I don't remember JJ Schmidt seeing Cantlin.
Yeah, they've had keys. They've both had multiple keys since the start of the match. There's no way that JJ would have gone to Cantlin and not gotten the coordinates. And there's no way he would have gotten the coordinates and not searched them by now. So I have to imagine that he has not seen it. I want to say I've only seen him go south the one time, and he got sent back either by a wizard or a blue dragon. And I don't think he's headed back that way since. So I have to imagine he hasn't been there yet. And especially, yeah, now, you know, if he'd been there before, there's that silver shield in the top shop, and he's been walking around with silver shield money for at least 20 minutes now. He would have beelined back for Cantlin, I'm sure, had he seen that. So still needs to go south from start, then he'll see it, then he'll be able to spend his money, he'll be able to find that silver harp, and we'll be able to make a bit more progress in the sieve.
And he still does have a slight experience advantage over Stags28. Although, well, Stags is able to heal. He's going to take out this wizard, and not going to quite get to that 3,000 needed for the next level. 1,600 experience difference between the two. Quite substantial right now. But remember, we still don't have the harp. For jjschmidt77, he's going to go half to back to the shrine, and he's going to get 10 agility, 1 hit point, 7 MP, not nearly enough to get to the Dragon Lord 2. Strength still at 46 at level 13. Oh, wow.
Here's Cole finally for Stag, searches the ground, finds the flute! Armor confirmed in Sharlock. Oh boy.
Flute is in Cole, Cole's in Cole, files are in the computer, and we have the answer. And your channel points will go out to you shortly.
So I had to step away for a bit. I didn't see what direction that Stags went in. However, it looks like JJ Schmidt has found Cole as well. Stag's going to take a look at the shop here. Silver shield here So this is going to be a pretty big divergence for both of our runners, as JJ Schmidt going to finally be able to spend that money he's been carrying around for the last 20 minutes or so, and does decide to pick up the fairy flute, had the option to decline it, and now... Well, okay, I'm sorry, I said it could be in Charlock. It could still be in Tablet Cave. I don't believe we've seen that yet, but unless we find Tablet Cave really close to Cantlin, I can't imagine that our runners are going to want to spend too much time looking for it once they get that Charlock access.
No, at this point, you're looking for a great place to grind. And given the lack of Axe Knights and other reasonable targets in the overworld, Charlock might be that place to grind.
Indeed, it just might be. And speaking of Tablet Cave, JJ Schmidt finds it right there. So Cantlin is the last location. We have now seen every location in the seed. JJ Schmidt will know as soon as he checks this. This could be the armor, or it could be absolutely nothing, and it's just an herb. So JJ Schmidt knows now he's got one task in front of him. He's seen the Shrine Cave. He just needs that harp. He knows it has to be on the map. He needs to find Cantlin as soon as possible, and we here in the commentator's booth know he needs to hit return and go south. It'll be right there.
And question is Stags28 going to continue to search for Tablet Cave, or is he going to take the gamble that it, well, not gamble for us, but the gamble for him that it is in Charlock?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, once you get down to just a few locations like this, especially if it's just one or two locations, it can be really tempting to just dive Charlock and just go look for it immediately. But that can also lead you into a little bit of trouble as well if you happen to be wrong. Now, we know that that's not the case. But just to remains to be seen what Stags wants to do here. Looks like he might be getting ready to turn in that rainbow drop right now, which would potentially signal an early dive.
And question in chat, has Stags found the drop he's about to? They found the Jerk Cave to the east of Tantagle and Charlock early on in the match, and he should be going for it right now. The other thing about the Charlock grind is that you can actually grind as you're going down to search for the armor. So whether it's there or not, you're gaining levels in the process, hopefully, assuming that there's some enemies in there that you have a better chance of taking out. Opts to return back. I guess refilled his mana before he goes to the Rainbow Drop Cave so he can go straight back into Charlock.
Yeah, probably didn't want to take a death knowing that it would be a hard... he'd have a hard time taking out another potential wizard or stone man or any of those nasty monsters that are in that zone. So I like this play. Just go back to where you know you can get your MP and just go from there. JJ really just combing all of these spots on the map that he's already been to. I mean, this is the third or fourth time I've seen him over here by this cave, this Shrine Cave. He's already been up here before. This is a little bit brutal. He's still got a pretty significant experience lead over Stags, but the chat wondering if he's misdrawn his map or what's going on here. Maybe he's misremembered what directions he's gone. Really just needs to go south of start.
That's the only thing I can think of, is that he drew a line where he should have left a gap on his map, or he's not mapping at all. I do like how Stags goes to Charlock, tries to use the rainbow drop that is not in his inventory, but luckily for him, it's just to the east. He's doing it now, and we have our first runner in Charlock.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and get a look at those initial zones. Gets greeted by a blue dragon. Wants to decline, but the 44 agility loses the coin flip twice there now. Goodness gracious, agility does not mean much at all. And dueling blue dragons on our screens here, and it looks like JJ's finally headed in the right direction.
That he is. That section of the map definitely looks familiar, and he runs into the fun police that may be sending him home. We'll see what happens.
I think, though, he's finally figured it out. He's finally figured out the way that he needs to go. Okay, he recognizes that he's been down there before. He doesn't need to cross through the swamp. He just needs to keep going south.
Southeast. We have Stags declining the fights with those blue dragons. And, yes, they're hard enemy to take down right now with their low strength and the natural hurt or resistance of the blue dragons. But it's 180 experience, and right now you're not going much further down in Charlock. And as we can tell right now, he's not going any further down in Charlock. He's getting sent back to the castle, and in about 10 seconds he's going to be back in Charlock and ready to go back at it.
Yeah, this is pretty tough, seeing blues everywhere on that top floor. They are painful to try and fight with only 83 attack power. So, probably going to want to go back to Hawksness. I think Hawksness was pretty close to Brecconary. So you could use Brecconary as a home base and just try to fight those. He does have that Fairy Flute if he wants to try to fight this Golem. Says, nah, I'm not going to mess around with that. Like he is just heading right back to Hawksness. Maybe he wants to check out the Hawksness zone. Or just fight Stonemen. I mean, between Sleep and their Baby Breath, this seems like the best grind available. We'll have to see.
And we have JJ Schmidt, who has the coordinates now. We do know that they're fairly easy to count, and he should have the Silver Harp very quickly. May go straight back to the Staff Trade-In Shrine, and then come back, and I'm not sure what he's going to do. Is he going to go in Charlock to try to find the armor, or is he going to go and do what Stags is doing and gain a few more levels?
I have to imagine if you're JJ, you try to dive once, you see those blue dragons, and you nope right back on out. He's got now, at this point, he's got all the information that Stags has, just short of what's in Charlock, and again, I don't think JJ is going to be any more fond of fighting blue dragons on 86 attack power than Stags was at 83 attack power. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see JJ follow in Stags' footsteps all the way back to Hawksness. So probably in a few minutes here, I imagine we're going to be seeing dueling Stonemen grinds, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. It should just be a couple more minutes before we figure that one out. He does have to go back and turn in that harp and just do a little bit of that homework, but not too much more.
And he has got 2 Hurtmores in a row on the Blue Dragon, using the first one to take down that first Blue Dragon, and now fighting the second one, able to take it down. 360 experience points in just a few seconds, and a Silver Harp to boot.
Yeah, closing in really quickly on level 14. Just needs to get to 5625, I believe, is the target to reach. And sorry,
I was just going to agree with you.
So yeah, chat noting that the Stoneman grind is not the best. I mean, really, there just aren't any good ones available. Stack's going to go back. Did he forget what was in Swamp Cave? I wonder if he's going back to check that again. I mean, this Red Dragon isn't going to be any better, that's for sure.
No, not at all. It is worth significantly more XP. However, you don't have any chance, well, you have significantly less chance of putting it to sleep, and it's going to hit a little bit harder. So I'm not sure why he would go back here, other than maybe he's just going to try it out. Desperate times, desperate measures, something like that.
Yeah, perhaps. Looks like he is headed that way. JJ Schmidt. I think JJ Schmidt at this point, this is a pretty smart play. He knows this is a single continent, but he also knows that the fastest way back to the Shrine Cave is through Swamp. And so now, okay, Stags declines the Blue Dragon. Finds a Green Dragon Zone. This could be pretty useful.
Beta Strep throwing some knowledge out in chat, and I absolutely agree. We do know that the zone just to the southeast of Tanagle Castle, right by Charlock, is full of wizards and, I believe, Wraith Knights. So there's decent XP there. It's not the best place ever, but wizards aren't a terrible target right now, especially compared to blue dragons, which could end your day very, very quickly.
Yeah, blue dragons are a pretty tough target. Wizards are pretty nice. They're pretty soft. 120 experience. I think there might be stonemen or golems in that zone as well. Regardless, JJ Schmidt here, hitting level 14, 10 power, 4 HP, 1 MP. That 10 attack power helping out quite a bit. Maybe making that Stoneman grind a little bit more attractive. Well, again, we'll just have to wait and see what JJ Schmidt decides to do here. Stags finding blue dragons in this zone as well, so really not that much better than that Stoneman grind, unfortunately.
And we have JJ Schmidt, who has just sealed the exploration advantage that Stags28 did have, is now solidly in the lead, 2 levels ahead, 1600 experience, has the silver shield, so he does have a little bit more defense, and actually, compared to Stags, he's going to have a little bit easier time taking the blue dragons that are plaguing this first floor of Charlock Castle. But really, we have not seen an Axe Knight yet. We have not seen an Arbor Knight yet. We've seen very few green dragons. The really nice hurt more targets just have not appeared. We'll see if JJ Schmidt tries to go to a different Charlock zone once he realizes how many blue dragons there are right here.
Oh, commentator's blessing!
And we found it. Our first Axe Knight of the night.
And now everything's coming up. Axe Knight for JJ Smith. He has to be very, very happy to see this. Stags consistently staying one level, within one level of JJ Schmidt here. But now that JJ's found these Axe Knights, I think this is the grind. This is the zone to be. Stags saw 3 blue dragons back to back, if I'm not mistaken, his first time here. That's why he left. Now sees that there are Axe Knights in this zone. JJ, meanwhile, 4 Axe Knights in a row. Blue dragons all fled. They all made way for him. The sea has parted. The experience is rolling in. Even Beta Stripe noting this is far superior to the Hawk's Nest grind. I think everybody's in agreement on that one.
Absolutely. Honestly, even the blue dragon might be superior. Even though that stone man can be put to sleep, the blue dragon a little bit squishier. It provides a substantially more experience than the stone man. And Stags
really
not wasted.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter that JJ got bopped out. We can see that Charlock is right there, so it doesn't really matter. Beta noting that, JJ's got that pretty significant armor advantage over Stags, so going after blue dragons is significantly easier for him. Using that Hurtmore spell pretty diligently here is going to soften up that blue dragon. Does low HP roll here for the blue dragon, does manage to take it out in just one swing, and so now both of our runners have the same idea in mind. Let's go ahead and dive Charlock now. Let's see what's in those ladder 2 zones and get that armor as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. The question is it going to be at the judges table or is it going to be down in the treasury?
I think at this point, you have to check that spot first, especially because the fighter's ring is still out there. And with, we have 86 attack power on Stag's side, 96 on JJ Schmidt's side. So that fighter's ring could be the difference maker in terms of your Dragon Lord 2 fight, unless, of course, they get a gigantic power level here in the very near future. Axe Knights have heal. They're both trying to punch through it. JJ Schmidt just trying so hard, decides to run away, decides it's not worth spending the extra hurt more. I don't disagree. Unfortunately, that heal is deceptively good. I believe 15 to 27 is the range. And oof, is all I have to say about that.
Meanwhile, we have Stags28 making his way through the diamond-shaped floor onto this next floor. And actually doing... Nah, I'm not going to say it. I've already made one blessing. I don't want to make any curses. Ooh, gets the miss with the hurt more. And is able to run away at 54 agility. Nice.
Alright, so Stags almost through. That last zone is going to decline. The judges' table now into the final zone. Armored Knights down here. Runs for the Armored Knight on 54 agility. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Let's see how he... Oh, not getting lucky twice. Ho! And immediately runs into another.
Oh my goodness!
Oh! I was about to say JJ Schmidt heading down into the swamp cave to see what is down there. We know it's a red dragon. Now he knows it's a red dragon. We'll see how fast he nopes out and goes back to Charlock Castle. We have Stags28 entering the castle treasure or Charlock Treasury. We have a torch. We have the fighter's ring that he is going to immediately equip for that 2 attack power advantage. Another torch. Gold. Oh my goodness. It is an herb and Urgix armor.
Alrighty, so that's a pretty big pickup here, and gonna finally, now that he's got what he came for, going to finally take out one of these Armored Knights and try to limp his way to that spike tile, I have to imagine. Getting that heal walking from Erdrick's armor gear, if he can make it, that would be a vital piece of information. Now again, JJ Schmidt, with the level and armor advantage, still a slight armor advantage thanks to that silver shield, is contending with these red dragons right now. I don't imagine he's going to come back here after he expends all of his MP, but pretty decent return for now. Not going to be able to get the level here. Needs, I think, 3 more red dragons to do it. I think that's a pretty big ask unless he gets a critical hit somewhere along the way. And Stag's likely getting sent back by this. Oh my goodness, he gets away again!
This is an incredible amount of run luck, and we have another Armored Knight on the spike tile. Great information for him to have. I do not believe he's going to be able to take it out right now unless he gets a critical hit, which he did not. Armor Knight's going to send him back home, but with that Erdrick's armor, that grind is going to be substantially more efficient, both with the heal walking and the additional defense that he has. He did take the Death Warp. Let's see if he goes to the Treasury, and he does. Oh, no! Where are you going?
Oh, yeah, he could do that gold grind out of Charlock, the one that you almost never see. I would have never thought about that myself. Could have picked up that silver shield, says no. I want to get back out on the map as soon as possible. Maybe heading back to that green dragon zone could also be heading towards that red dragon. JJ, meanwhile, has decided that the red dragon is the place to be. He is able to just take that Death Warp and walk right back on down. Just needs 2 more for the level here.
The red dragon is a tempting target. The attack power that we have is still just a little low. It's taken, what, 6 hits to take out the red dragon? Which doesn't seem very efficient, but at 255 experience points a pop, it does add up very quickly. Unfortunately, goes for it when he shouldn't have, is sent back. It's going to short walk back there to continue grinding.
Yeah, I've
He,
been watching him swing there in the mid 30s, even after seeing that 41. We definitely saw 41 earlier out of those red dragons. Maybe JJ forgot, maybe he was gambling, not too sure on that one. But either way, now declining that red dragon grind, knowing one that there are Axe Knights here in Sharlock, and of course just knowing that he could get it's just not particularly efficient even with the defense power that he has. It's going to come right back here. Back-to-back metal slimes for Stags. Interesting little strategy here.
I was wondering if you're going to sleep on that, because this is incredible. If you can take 2 metal slimes in a row, that's quite the experience or regaining the experience deficit that he's in right now. Unfortunately, runs away. Darn indeed, Commander No Guy.
Beta Strep with the chat curse here, saying he could potentially get 4 red dragons per grind if he goes first. Doesn't go first in this particular scenario. Just needs 2 red dragons, though, to get that 10 attack power boost. And already having that Fighter's Ring out of Sharlock will have, I want to say, 1 extra point of max damage over JJ Schmidt, but it's still just really tough to try to be fighting these red dragons right now in any committed fashion. JJ, meanwhile, not getting the same amount of encounter luck as he got before, but still just 1 more monster away from what could be a monster level. This werewolf is going to let us know.
And we have Stags28 just a little bit closer to level 14. Level 14 doesn't bring a whole lot to our runners. Unfortunately, the lack of the silver shield may be a thing for Stags28. He still does have the chance and go up since he has not reached the overworld yet, although going down south right now sounds like he might be trying to get out of here.
12, 11, no, 12, 0, 11, 2 were the stats on that level. No agility, pretty unfortunate, as 54 is atrocious is the word I would use when you're looking at a Sharlock dive. The attack power is not great either, so, you know, JJ doesn't know that the AKs are at the bottom of the floor, but it's going to be hard to punch your way through. It's going to be hard to run from them. So it'll be interesting to see how much more we have to grind before the attack power catches up. With only 69 MP, though, oh boy, strap in. Could be here a while.
Yeah, with no good grind, well, with Charlock being the best grind, and with that low strength and MP, not boding well for a level 16 dive for the Dragon Lord. But we've seen stranger things. I did earlier see a 64, I believe, HP or MP stat gain on 1 level during a seed earlier. So it is possible.
JJ Schmidt already putting that strength to use. I want to say maybe he just 2-shot that blue dragon, probably a 3-shot. I'm going to go ahead and take this Death Warp now, unless it gets a critical hit right here. Does not. So now he's going to refill his MP, come right back, continue grinding. Has increased that experience lead as Stags trying to figure out where that best place to grind is. Now about 2,000 up on Stags28. Stags still keeping it within a level, but of course those levels get further and further apart as we go.
Not exactly sure what Stags28 is thinking right now. He is getting more herbs, that's for sure. I do not believe this is the closest place to find herbs. Maybe he remembers a good zone over here that we didn't notice earlier.
And knowing there was one green dragon zone, but no idea what else was in it. I believe that green dragon zone that we saw Stags in earlier was just east of the Shrine Cave. which is itself is just on the other side of Swamp Cave, but we did see blue dragons there, so I think that was the reason why Stags left that zone. Not sure if there was anything else there, but yeah, when you got blues mixed in with greens in a scenario like this, you really just don't want to be messing around with that zone. Now JJ Schmidt deciding this is a good time as any to try to make his way all the way down. Hopefully he is successful in getting his armor. That'll put him right on par with Stags in just being fully in grind and go mode.
Stags28, who's still maintaining about a 2,000 experience deficit compared to jjschmidt77. Blue Dragon will bring him about 180 closer. I still think Charlock might be the best place to grind right now, and you see JJ killing enemies on the way down to where we know the armor is.
Yeah, no need to check. It'll be interesting to see if he checks Judge's Table on the way down. We know that Judge's Table has nothing of any real consequence. The Fighter's Ring and the armor are in the Treasury. And Stags now finding his own. I think he was attracted to this zone by the werewolves. Maybe this overlaps with that Green Dragon zone we were just talking about earlier on these desert tiles. But yeah, the Blue Dragons still a little bit inefficient in this scenario, but Stags just making the best of what he can find. And I don't think this zone is terrible, but maybe not, we haven't quite found that perfect sweet spot just yet.
No, we have not, and I think Judge's Table might be a cursed belt in this seed, because I don't think we've seen a second one, and we do know that there's 2 search files that were active.
Oh, that's a very keen observation. Yeah, it would just by process of elimination, we know that Airdrift's armor would have had a curse belt in it if it had been somewhere on the map, and so yeah, it would basically be the curse belt is the most reasonable option for that final chest. But of course, we know that we don't need to go that way. Maybe JJ will confirm it for us on the way down, but oh man, the resources are dwindling. Already using the last Hurtmore. I'm not sure how far he is. Oh, he's going down for the Erdrick's, the Vanilla Sword location right now, if I'm not mistaken by these movements. No, on the Diamond Floor. I'm sorry, excuse me. He's on that Diamond Floor right now.
On the Diamond Floor and finds a Green Dragon. Unfortunately, does not have any MP left to throw the Hurtmore.
Yeah, not wanting to try to heal up afterwards. This is a really tough scenario to find yourself in because Stags got quite a bit of experience as he was diving, and it's going to be a little bit harder for JJ to match. He's going to try to take out this Axe Knight here. Should get it on this attack since it chose not to heal. And Stags, maybe an opportunity here to bite into this experience lead. Has cut it to inside 2,000 now. We'll have to wait and see.
But as Betastrep mentioned in chat earlier, not deciding on a zone is more inefficient than a lower efficient grind because you have to spend time getting out to these places. And, the Blue Dragon grind is not the most efficient at XP per minute as, say, an Axe Knight. But if you would stay with Charlotte Castle and kill the Blue Dragons and Axe Knights there when you're right next to Tentacle and can get the Death Warp out, reset your health and mana very quickly and get back in there, it's certainly more efficient than coming all the way out into the northwest corner of the map and walking around on a desert out here.
Oh no, JJ gets to the U-shaped floor. First thing he gets greeted with is one of those AK-47s. Declines to try to run from it, which we know Stags did multiple times on his way to the armor. I don't blame JJ for just noping right on out of there with 54 agility. And now again, spending that time trying to get down with low resources, not able to make the most advantage of it. Here comes Stags, diligently grinding away. Seems to have found the zone that he likes. And it's, again, not terribly far away from start. He can take the Death Warp here and just come right back through Swamp Cave would probably only take about a minute.
That is true, and JJ Schmidt with a nice amount of MP going for his second dive, taking on the Blue Dragon, going to swing for that final hit, taking it out, bringing him 180 XP closer to that 9,750 required for level 16. And walking back?
Yeah, I think he's not terribly happy with having to use so many of those very limited resources right off the bat. I don't quite blame him here. Probably, I have to imagine what he wants to do here. He's closing in on level 16 pretty quickly, and just in case level 16 gets a bunch of MP, this would put him closer to the entrance so he can just get that MP back and go for another dive with better resources. So we'll just have to see. Stags closing in on level 15, which would put him on the same level as JJ Schmidt for the first time in quite a while. Stags did jump out to an early lead, did get that hurt more before JJ Schmidt, but once JJ Schmidt caught up, was able to kind of pull away. And now the difference back to right around 2,000. JJ making good, quick work of these Blue Dragons. 9750, I believe, is the target to hit, so still a few more Blue Dragons or Axe Knights left to grab.
It is 9750, so it'll be this Blue Dragon and then one more. Anything else in here? We will all have simultaneously the knowledge of what level 16 brings for us, and maybe we'll get a massive strength gain, maybe we won't.
Osmani Games noting that Stags has been almost double the efficiency in terms of experience over the past 5 minutes. Beta Strep saying, you know, just commit to the grind until your resources are high enough so that you're not running from things. And that's kind of what JJ was having to do as he made that first attempt to go down and get the armor. And that actually would have been the perfect opportunity to get that level and then go refill his resources. But the game says no. Should have an opportunity to grab the level before going back into Charlock. I'm sure he's aware of what those zones have. And then go back and refill just in case he does get a lot of MP. And again, we'll just have to wait and see how much the stats improve.
And it's good seeing Osmati Games throwing out the stats in chat. That's something I've been looking forward to. Always putting that out there. Last night we were seeing, or the night before, we were seeing Axe Knight grinds in the 400 plus XP per minute category. So obviously these grinds our runners are doing are slightly less efficient, but I do agree that seeing Stags settle in on this grind right here is a very welcome sight, because he's not moving around, he's staying in the same area. The enemies are decent. I don't know if we can definitively say that this area is better or worse than Charlock, but what I can say is that he's going through these levels much quicker than he was earlier, and he's going through the levels much more quickly than jjschmidt77 is. So this might be his opportunity to catch up. jjschmidt77 going back here to get some more herbs, rest up at the inn, and maybe looking to make his dive right now.
Yeah, I think it's important too. I'm curious to see. He did go for the inn first. It would be interesting to see when if he decides to pick up fairy water here. I feel like with the stats trickling in the way that they are, fairy water could make a very big difference here in terms of Dragonlord 2 readiness. Again, for anyone in chat who is not aware, 2 years ago now, we have had, 1 year, 2 tournaments, we have had access to Fairy Water as a source of damage. 9 to 16, the same as that hurt spell, and can be used on Dragonlord 2 if your attack power going into Dragonlord 2 is less than, I would say, 130 or so. If you're in the 120s, it's going to be a pretty significant source of early damage. JJ Schmidt, though, declining to pick up that Fairy Water is just going to make another dive. That 3 MP gain on the level was enough to get him 1 more hurt more than 9 attack power. Nothing to sneeze at there. We'll make this a little bit more efficient. And honestly, I'm just going to throw this out in chat, and you know, my co-commentator here, Elmore, can weigh in as well. I'm not a huge fan of burning the hurt mores on the way down. Why not just save it for the heal wars and punch things? You've got 117 attack power now.
117 attack power is a lot. I think that our runners are trying to gauge how much MP is going to be needed for the heal mores. Use the MP to get the quick experience while you can. And then once you get closer to that limit for what you need to go down, then they'll start running more often and punching through as necessary.
Absolutely, and it's just so tough. This is a seed that I feel like would tax the decision making of even the most experienced runners. As we kind of see, I mean, we saw Stags be a little bit wishy-washy before. We're seeing JJ be a little bit wishy-washy now, and just look. I mean, Asmati again posting, we're still seeing the efficiency difference. Again, Stags already having that armor, is able to settle into the grind, is able to just be diligent, and now pulling almost within 1,000 experience of JJ Schmidt. He needs that armor. I mean, he needed that armor yesterday. He still has that buffer, but Stags making up so much ground over the last 10 minutes.
That he is. Beta Strip kind of putting a little bit more validation on what we were saying earlier. The easier enemies, like the Axe Knights, not an easy enemy, but has a much greater possibility of being killed with one single hurt more. And at the very least, swing first and then throw the hurt more to guarantee the kill, as opposed to swinging 4 times on a blue dragon and needing to spend 8 MP for the heal more that you're going to have to cast anyway. It's kind of a tough call.
Tough call indeed. And again, Sarnax noting that the attack power gain on level 16 is pretty significant. It will allow JJ Schmidt to have a pretty good chance of just punching through this heal. You know, it does kind of reduce that efficiency over time, but the resources aren't going to be too terribly depleted. And I do believe 12,000 flat is the next goal that we are looking for. So about 1,000 experience here. Really just keeping that 1,300 experience difference, and maybe Stags hasn't been running into as many blue dragons lately, but just trying to be as diligent as possible, trying to hold on to as many resources as possible, knows he's right there on top of the level. The blue dragon here would do it.
Yeah, JJ's pace has been picking up, mostly due to the fairly large number of Axe Knights he's seen in the last couple of floors. Although we do know that there's a large number of Arbor Knights, those AK-47s, at this point, and JJ is going to have to fight his way through these. I doubt he's going to have the same run luck that Stags did on his first run down. That was quite exceptional.
Indeed it was. And actually, running into... Did he see an Armor Knight in the Diamond Floor? I'm not sure we've seen those before.
I don't think he saw a Diamond Knight on the Armored Floor. Or Diamond Knight, goodness. I don't think he saw the AK-47 on the Diamond Floor. Right now, I believe he's on the... I'm going to make the choice between 2 floors.
Yeah, this is really tough. Not quite getting the encounter luck that he might prefer. Gonna need... Oh, wow! Chooses to swing on 21 HP, 2 shots the Green Dragon. What a bold play. Again, just maximizing, getting every little bit that he can out of his dwindling resources. Goes ahead, chomps down on all of his herbs. 1 heal more, 1 heal in that back pocket. On top of the final zone, where again he knows those Arbor Knights are waiting for him. He's so close to picking up that armor. Still keeping about 1,500 experience difference between himself and Stags. About 4 more monsters away from the level, but it's going to get harder to grab that experience the closer he gets to the armor. It's so tough. Green Dragon after Green Dragon, though, he's going to inch his way there.
And he's able to take them out 2 or 3 shots each. Oh, he's going for the Healmore, his last Healmore, and I believe he's out of herbs as well.
Apologies in advance if I mispronounced your name, but Zuzan in chat saying that Stags need to start grinding red dragons right now. I think that is the best grind available with the resources. But it looks like he's going to make a pit stop at Cantlin. He already topped off on his herbs, so Fairy Water is the purchase. I like this play because we are so close to being on one of those like nail biter levels. But was his inventory full? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Declining to clear out the inventory for Fairy Water is Stags28 going right back into Charlock. Maybe gonna fight his way. No, his MP's not topped off. I guess he's just deciding that maybe this is the better zone. Excellent move for jjschmidt. Manages to take the Green Dragon out with no resources. Here comes level 17.
9 power, 19 hit points. I didn't see what's the rest was. Still not quite enough, I think, to go for your final dive, especially with that low agility. You've got 10 Healmores in the tank. Even with the Death Necklace, which I do not believe you can put on and maintain 97 health, you're only going to have 136 attack power, which is 12 swings on average. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to make it right now. Level 18 is definitely in the cards for our runners.
Chat noting that 16 or 17 is possible, but yeah, exactly. Beta Stripe noting technically go mode, but you're not going to get there. You really need all your resources. jjschmidt beelining for Charlock, Cantlin. I think this is the point at where you have to go get that Fairy Water. You have to go fill up, and maybe JJ's thinking about going for the win. But armor and win in one go is such a tough call here.
So the Dragon Lord is hitting you for a max of 51, 48 Dragon Breath. You do have a large amount of hit points, but even with that, as hard as he's going to be hitting with his normal attacks, I'm not sure how many doubles you'll realistically be able to get. By doubles, I mean being able to attack twice before having to cast Healmore. How many of those you're going to be realistically able to get, given that Healmore doesn't heal you much more than what? Actually, I can't remember the exact range on it. Beta, do you know?
So crunching the numbers really quickly here, both runners have that flute in their inventory, which they can't get rid of, which I do believe means that they can only hold on to 6 Fairy Waters, which would give them an average opening play of... No, I'm sorry, 5 Fairy Waters, which I believe
because of the Death Necklace.
Of 60 damage. Oh, and the Death Necklace as well. Maybe only 4 Fairy Waters. That does make Fairy Water strats a little bit more tough. Could choose to sell that Death Necklace right now just because, I mean, I think in this scenario you really want to hold on to the HP for that outside chance of double attacks in the middle of the fight. Would swing things in the favor of, I think that's the better choice here. I personally think that's the better choice.
Wow, he is diving for... He's not even caring right now about the experience. He wants to get that armor. Unfortunately, he's not going to have the MP once he gets the armor because these barrier tiles will sap at least a couple of Hurtmores out of him. I'm not sure why he's not attacking things on the way down, especially those Axe Knights, which are a great Hurtmore target, even with the heal spell that they have.
Yeah, JJ deciding that this is the time to be efficient has just had such a hard time trying to get that armor. Had noted, Beta Step had noted a few minutes ago, we're back to that 2K deficit, but don't look now. Stags28 deciding to grind here in Charlock, cuts the deficit to within 1,000.
Absolutely. And I'm not certain that 17 is going to be the play. So by not attacking on his way down and just running, he's losing that valuable experience advantage that he had.
It's going to be really tough. I mean, 8 heal mores. I wonder if JJ thinks it's possible. Not sure if he picked up Fairy Water, how much he might have in his inventory. If he were to have 5 in his inventory, I think he can only hold 4. But if he were to have 5 in his inventory, I did a little bit of math here behind the scenes. You know, you're going to get an average of 60 damage out of those. And then from there, his 9.5 average attack power would do it in 11 turns. I think we're looking at, it's still at 16 turns on average. It's just so tough. You would have to get multiple doubles in order to make that work.
Yeah, even with Fairy Water, this is, I think, a no-go. Especially, I mean, obviously now because he's had to expend mana just getting to the armor. Maybe he's just so worried about the similar situation he was in last time, spending too much MP early and not having enough to make it all the way down to where the armor is, that he's running from a few more enemies. Let's also remember that the next couple of floors are going to be rampant with AK-47s. That's going to be very, very, very tough for our runners to get through, even honestly at level 18, unless there's a substantial agility gain at level 18.
Getting a little bit lost here as JJ Schmidt took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, wasn't sure where he was. Goes ahead and uses that Radiant spell, and now it's a pretty trivial trek down to that U-shaped floor, and then it's really just about how many AK-47s you run into, and maybe we'll see him start to use those resources now to take out those AKs and pick up that experience towards level 18. And now, I have to agree with Beta Strep in chat real quick. It is really nice to see a race where it's not completely free, where you do have to make those decisions. And here comes Stags making that decision. Wanted to cast outside immediately, doesn't have the resources left.
And Stags closing that experience deficit, less than 100 experience between the two of them. I'm pretty sure he knows he's not going to be able to go at level 17. Probably going to go out, refill his mana, come back, grind out 18, and he's definitely has the significant advantage right now.
Oh no, excellent dodge on the side of JJ Schmidt. Could have taken out that Axe Knight or the Armor Knight without you spending any resources. It's just terrible, terrible luck here. Really just trying to be as efficient as he can. Here comes the last brick floor still getting encounters. Oh my goodness, please, 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 JJ, I need you to make it to the armor on this go. Stags might be deciding to go for it here. Does have that armor for the heel walking. Oh boy. This is going to be real close. If Stags is going for it here, this is going to be an absolute nail biter because we know JJ Schmidt closing in on that armor, but we know he's got to make another dive here. He's got to make another dive attempt, and if both of our runners really deciding that 17 is the right level, is Stags is running away from everything that he sees. And oh my goodness. A few people in chat asking where the armor was. It's this last chest here. JJ will pick it up in the treasury. We do believe it's by process of elimination. It should be a cursed belt at the judges table. And so now going to go ahead and cast return. Maximum efficiency here. Just wants to restore those resources. Stags running on 21 HP, not wanting to burn any MP, knows it's so close.
It's so close, but also so far away. As Beta mentions, he's getting hit for 53 by the Dragon Lord max damage. And that's, even though that's the max damage, the average is going to be higher than normal as well with his only 68 defense power. I know that maybe he's pressured, he thinks he's behind, this is his only chance. He doesn't have a lot of fairy water, and honestly, I don't think he has a lot of chance. That being said, he made it to the armor the first time, running away from numerous Arbor Knights, so we know that crazy things can happen.
Yeah, taking an average of 40 damage from Dragon Lord 2 at this point on those physical attacks will make it pretty tough to get those doubles. Mr. Holmes saying, even if, yeah, it's 65% to win, I mean, 65% of the time it works out every time, as we've seen in the past. So, Stags diligently making his way down to the Dragon Lord. Still has all that MP, but here we go. Final zone for Stags28. It's going to come down to how many Armored Knights does he run into? How many resources is he going to have to burn? Already not seeing the run luck that he saw before. Burning through those last few herbs is Stags28. No spare sleeps available. No spare heals available. This is all the healing you're going to get.
And you still have that Armored Knight to get through on the spike tile. That's going to be at least a heal more or 2 hurt mores. Likely the heal more at this point, because 2 hurt mores would take you down to only, what, 8? No. Yeah, 8 heal mores left for the Dragon Lord, and that's a clear no-go at that point.
Yeah, gonna need to make maximum use of Erdrick's can opener here on this Armored Knight. This would be a legendary time for a crit if ever there was one. Beta Strep calling it out. That was a walk and a half. Really needs to take this out. Does it in 3 attacks. Now, does he have any herbs left? Gonna go ahead and chew those up right now. Standing right in front of the Dragon Lord, uses that last herb now. Max HP, made it all the way down. This would be an incredible comeback, an incredible, I'm just going to call it now, I feel like this would be an upset going on a Death Necklace.
He's taking the gamble. That brings him, I believe, to what, 102 hit points? Yeah, there it is in the tracker. So he has the chance right here.
Gets the stop spell out of the Dragon Lord, gets the attack. Oh goodness, this is gonna be an absolute nail biter. Is there gonna be a back attack? Yes. Breathing Fire has to burn that heal more right away. Oh my goodness, this is just gonna come down to how good his rolls are. 12, not a great one, right in the middle of his range. Yes, Zarnak's calling it out. He has to gamble right here. He has to gamble. Pretty decent chance that he dies here. 44 needs that high heal more here. Oh, goodness. What a roller coaster. Could die here on this swing. I feel like the rolls haven't been great for him so far. Need to start calling it out. 45 HP still would need to consider swinging. 51, not safe. Oh no!
This one less than max hit from the Dragon Lord sends him back, thrown out of the castle for the curse that he is wearing. Gonna go down. Is he going to... Oh, goodness. Is he going to go remove the Death Necklace and therefore remove any chance of going at it again wearing the Death Necklace? or is he going to keep the Death Necklace on and grind out one additional level?
He's going towards Cantlin, which tells me it's just going to take that in there, maybe buy some fairy water, which he declined to do before. But I think he is going to buy the fairy water before stocking up on those herbs. Let's see how many he can get. Oh, just the one. I don't know what all is in his inventory, but I wish he would clear it out. Because, I mean, those could potentially help out. Actually, now that I look at it, 138 attack power, 68 defense, that fairy water is not doing anything for it right now. So just going to go ahead, refill those herbs, and I have to imagine it's going to head right back in. I mean, this is tough. JJ Schmidt, meanwhile, going back to the Swamp Cave for the Red Dragon Grind.
I just feel so bad for Stags right now. If he had done any number of things different, it may have gone better for him. That being said, he had pretty good luck on the way down. So you can fault him for not taking the gold grind for the silver shield when he had the chance. But the reality is he had pretty much as good a luck as you can get going down. He made it down there with full mana, and he just isn't quite in the right position.
I believe JJ Schmidt should pick up level 18 off this Red Dragon right here. I think 14,250 is the target that he's looking for, so pretty decent efficiency here with that 128 attack power. Swings on 34, that's pretty ballsy, and so now we have level 18 coming in. Will we finally get some agility to help out? 1 power, 5 agility, 27 hit points. Okay, that is absolute 110%. You put on the Death Necklace here. You can put on the Death Necklace and still potentially get doubles. Oh, man. Holy cow. But the agility is still absolute garbage. Did pick up a heal for himself, so we could use that on the way down. Can't even get up to full off the heal board before talking to the old man again, but just a few steps to that Airjix armor will take care of that for him.
Yeah, Beta Strep is trying to do my job, which is commentator curse jjschmidt77 on his way down. Let's see if JJ Schmidt has the same luck that Stags28 had on his second dive down. Looks like he's killing things on the way. Stags, that is.
Yeah, he's been fighting stuff on the way down. Interesting choice, I guess, just kind of decided he didn't really know where a better grind was. And especially, I mean, we're closing in on 2 hours here in, again, a seed where we were basically grind and go. We've been grind and go for about 20 to 30 minutes here. And again, having to make those decisions as to where to grind, having to decide, is this the most efficient place? Is this the most efficient play I can make? I mean, I can't overstate how mentally taxing that is as a runner in any situation, much less a tournament. And I don't blame him. I mean, he maybe even just forgot about the Red Dragon at this point. I wouldn't blame him if that was the case. I mean, this is just bonkers right now. JJ now making his way back down, is in the lead. And on 162 HP and heal walking here as he has been able to do, I mean, Beta Strep was trying to, do that little bit of commentator's curse, a little bit of that chat curse, but that's a much nicer buffer than he had before, obviously, in trying to just get to the Dragon Lord.
Now, the one issue Stags is facing right now, besides the lack of defense as compared to jjschmidt77, is with that Death Necklace on and with that lower amount of hit points that he has already. That means he's less able to absorb the damage on the way down. So a level 17 dive and putting the death necklace on might be a little bit more difficult than, or might be easier than a level 17 dive with the death necklace already on and being able to take one fewer hit from those Arbor Knights on the way down before having to take the Gilmore.
Absolutely, that is going to be a huge difference here, and I think Stags realizes it. And going back to the end here, I was wondering if he was going to take off the death necklace, but it looks like he's declining that. And we know he should gain, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he's going to gain 18 hit points on this level, maybe 19. Okay, not taking off the death necklace, but still, it's going to be pretty tough to get this last little bit. To make the dive on 120 is it's going to be pretty tough here. Now JJ swinging through the Armored Knights. 129 attack power will let you do that in 3 or 4 swings. Still has those herbs to fall back on. This dive does look to be a little bit cleaner than the ones we've seen so far. Already on that U-shaped floor.
Stag's looking to grind on the golems right there.
Aaron212 saying maybe going back through the race and determine retroactively what the best stab bonus combination would have been. Maybe I'm curious a little bit of a clarification whether or not that's kind of thinking about whether it would be better to put on the death necklace or not. And I think that's always it's just a tough choice. I don't know if you can ever say which is the best choice, especially in a scenario like this, where if you keep your HP, you're never at risk of overhealing. But then, of course, if you just throw the death necklace on now, you've got a quicker fight, significantly quicker fight, and could still potentially get double attacks. I believe JJ can only get hit for, I think 49 is the max he can get hit for, maybe 50. I'm sure chat will let me know.
It's 50 right now.
Alrighty, so still potentially some decisions to make here for JJ Schmidt. Closing in on that spike tile, which I think it's the first time he's seen that's an Armored Knight, but again, he already knows what to do. Just swing right through. Hopefully can get it on this attack right here. Yes, he does. And oh my goodness.
Oh, this is absolutely exciting. Oh, Stoneman on the second to the last step. He uses his one heal. He's out of herbs. He's putting the death necklace on before the fight. That's interesting. I guess since he wasn't going to be able to go up to max HP anyway, it didn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely not wanting to burn that heal more before the fight starts, so I completely agree with this play. The thing, though, is you might have to burn a heal more right now. Thinking about it does go ahead and burn the heal more. I think this is the right play. I mean, a back attack could have killed him here. Oh, goodness, if you're going to get back attacked like Stags did, this is going to be so close. Oh, no. Okay, can safely swing here. 19 at the top of his range. Good start.
And Stag's making his dive at level 18 right now, not too far behind. Runs into a Star Wyvern. We have not seen those in Charlock yet, I don't think.
48 damage now the count for JJ Schmidt. I do believe that is a little bit lower than what he should be swinging for. An average of 12. Oh my goodness. I think he has to go for the spray and pray hurt more here at this point. Not getting any doubles to speak of. 71 damage the count, not even halfway through.
Oh, he's just having the worst luck on these rolls.
Absolutely. Swinging for, I want to say 10 to 19. Just keeps going at the bottom of his range. 95 damage with just 2 Healmores left. Maybe a double chance here. Can he get it? Yes! That is huge. Okay, that's going to put him at, if I'm not mistaken, he's at 117 right now. 1 Healmore left in the back pocket. It's a bad Healmore there. Has to swing here. Bottom of his range, but he's still alive. I want to say 126 is where he's at right now. Maybe pulls out the double here. Oh my goodness. Last swing. Can he do it? No!
That is just... So 9 to 19, average of 14, I believe, if my math is correct. 14-ish. And I don't... Did he have any swings above 14?
He got one opening 19. That was the max of his range. But after that, it was just garbage on top of garbage on top of garbage. Beta Strep said it best. I completely feel bad. I feel like JJ really should have pulled that out. He made the right play, swinging on 47. He made the right play. Burning that Healmore on Dragon Lord 1. If he doesn't burn that Healmore, if he doesn't get back attacked, if he doesn't roll minimum, so many things had to go wrong there, and that opens the door up for Stags28. Max HP going into this Armored Knight, could potentially two-shot it. In that nice opening roll of 41, 32, not quite going to be enough, but should do it here, barring a miss. They want to do something about that USB gamepad setup, as it's going to be pretty important to get those inputs in for this Dragon Lord fight. AK-47 trying to defend his master here. Oh boy, uses that spare heal in his back pocket. Heads up play there. Might have wanted to save it for the Dragon Lord 1 fight, but says no, that I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Best chance here. 139 attack power. See if he can have better luck. JJ had better luck than he had in his first fight. Really needs to get it here. Doesn't want to have to burn that early hurt more. Oh, God. Has to heal more right here.
Does he have to? This is a gamble.
Oh, my goodness. Is he going to get back attacked? Are we going to see 3 back attacks in a row? No. But
is he?
He's going to. He has to swing here. Opening swing of 12. Could have died on that physical.
Can die on this physical as well.
Oh, I disagree with that. I mean, in hindsight, yes, the Dragon Lord rolled 52, but you gotta swing there. 31 damage, now the count.
Oh, strong possibility of a double right here. Oh, no.
Yeah, I have to agree with Chad. If you're gonna swing on 48, you gotta swing on 50. I know he got burned by it before. Lost track of the count. He is swinging for the upper end of his range, but I'm not sure what the count is. Oh, you gotta swing here on 47. I'm sorry. I understand him being a little bit gun-shy after his first Dragon Lord 2 fight, but you're not doing yourself any favors by double heal mooring. Oh, goodness.
Overall, this average has been a little low, I think. He's gotten 1 or 2 high rolls, but mostly I've seen a lot of 11 and 12s. And then he backs it up with a 19. And oh, no!
Oh man, he might still be able to pull it out. Is past 100 here. Down to the last heal more. How much can he make of these last few swings? Another 19. I believe that's 3 swings for the top of his range. 13 is enough. He did it.
Break out your GGs in chat as Stags28 has defeated the Dragon Lord on his final swing. That was absolutely incredible and a nail biter.
What an absolute marathon of a battle for both of our runners. Stags28 now finishing in first place with an official race.gg time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 28 seconds. JJ, being the good sport that he always is, gives the GG. We have offered the interview and chat giving their condolences for JJ Schmidt. JJ immediately asking how many dives. Stag says he needs to catch his breath, and I don't blame him. That was an absolute marathon of a seed. JJ boldly going for the win. Stag's noticing he died to DL2 once, but there is a much more important story to be told. That's the one of Stags holding on to the money in the very beginning of the race, gave him that experience deficit, and then having to choose the grind, having to make it down with the terrible agility. Suzanne saying in chat, I don't disagree. I mean, you know, walking away from it's a little bit tough, but I don't disagree. I questioned some of those decisions that Stags made, but he knew what he wanted to do. JJ noting that he died to DL2 once and was waiting for the dot done, but JJ now closing in on level 19. Actually, I want to say the spike tile might give it to him. The Green Dragon's gonna declines the Green Dragon. I think he's right there on top of it.
All right, and we have Stags28 in chat with us right now. GG, sir. Good game.
Holy cow.
Yeah, no, that's the correct reaction to that seed.
I thought that I had lost like maybe 6 or 12 times.
Oh yeah, I'm sure both of you guys fell behind. I mean, it was such a tough seed. Sherlock monsters in basically every direction, no matter where you went. If you went southwest towards Cantlin, there were blue dragons down there. If you went east past Sherlock, there were wizards. If you went through the swamp cave, more blue dragons there. And it was just bonkers. But the first thing I want to ask you, Stags, what were you hoping to get with that gold grind money? I personally feel like 19,000 is an odd place to go to, but I'm curious what your thoughts were there.
So I was looking to get either both the flame sword and the magic armor, or the silver shield. Either combination.
I see. Yeah, fair enough. That either of those would have been a fantastic pickup. Unfortunately, not finding Cantlin until after most of that gold had disappeared. And now I'm going to pivot back to JJ Schmidt making his second attempt at the Dragon Lord. Unfortunately, burned one heal more already before even starting this fight. Does get the stop spell, 96 attack power. Maybe could pull this off. Although I do see JJ Schmidt here in chat with us, which is interesting. Doing some manipulation here.
Pop in.
Although I do see JJ Schmidt doing some commands. Maybe looking for that sleep or that hurt more spell.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go back to Stags here. So yeah, we're hoping for that armor. Unfortunately, was not able to make it through the, not able to capitalize on that. And then Stags, the other thing I was kind of wondering about, you had a couple of opportunities to do a second gold grind, knowing that Silver Shield was there. And Cantlin, I'm curious if that was on your mind, if you were actively declining it or maybe thinking about it.
I thought about it a lot and figured that I was so far behind after a completely fruitless first grind that I just ran. I thought about it a lot and figured.
Yeah, not a terrible decision here. Unfortunately, you kind of hope the agility catches up eventually. but unfortunately did not. And now I guess the question is, Stags, could you walk us through your trying to decide where the best place to grind was? Were there any zones you were thinking about on the world map? I guess that's the first thing I want to ask.
Were there any grind zones? I eventually found something that was adequate, but
Yeah, I'm not sure there were any ones that were really. We were debating in chat and up here in the commentators booth heavily as to whether or not we would be, if Charlock was better, or if one of the spike tiles was better, or if there was a zone somewhere that maybe someone had paid attention to. But honestly, the zone that you found seemed to be the best zone that was available, or at least the ones that we saw. As Mighty Games was dropping the stats on us for a while, because you made that heroic run towards the armor. I mean, my goodness. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
I tried getting in there once and saw that it was blue dragons everywhere. Hey, good work, JJ Schmidt. I just saw there were blue dragons everywhere, and so I tried to strengthen up a little bit, and then figured I gotta get in there.
It was interesting to see the difference between your first Charlock dive and JJ's, because you saw nothing but blue dragons and he saw a lot of axe knights, and it was just kind of interesting to see the difference between the two. And running away from those armor knights was
I've never seen that before.
I saw it a race earlier this week. It's actually kind of funny that two runners did it. But Stags, that hero run down to the armor was quite amazing. I just got to say that. But right now we have JJ Schmidt, who's finished the race. I'm not sure what the official it's not SRL time, race time, GG time.
2:11:03, so just one Charlock dive difference.
Too long. But yeah, GG Stag. That was probably the worst early Hurt War seed I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was
stayed with nothing but wizards.
Yeah, I was talking with Up to NG earlier today. I have been contemplating the last 2 days doing an agility MP build, and that might have actually worked on this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how diminished stats are in the early game, because we sure didn't have a lot of MP at any point, but probably would have helped.
I don't even know how to react after that. That was
did I hear you saying you didn't really find anywhere to grind either?
No, I mean I tried Hawk's Nest, but stones are no good, and red dragons in the swamp suck, and I eventually found something between the Swamp South cave and the was it the Freebie cave? I think that's where up there near Garenham and Remolder.
What was there?
There were rogue scorpions and demon knights and blue dragons.
Okay, yeah. That seemed to be a pretty... it seemed like there were two zones. There was the wizard zone and the blue dragon zone. It seemed like that was it.
Did you consider going after the... Once you had a level 15, 16, and you had a decent amount of AP, did you consider the red dragon in Swamp Cave?
Yeah, I felt like I needed the armor for that, because still getting hit by... I mean, I guess we had some HP, I think 16 maybe. But it was... you still getting hit by like 40 pretty regularly. So, I don't know. I'm sure there was a right way to play this, and I sure as heck didn't figure it out.
Well, I'm not going to give it another run to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody else can run this later and, figure it out. I'm sure there was a better way to do things. The only thing I think there was, like, there were no werewolves anywhere that I saw, no Star Wyverns, no Axe Knights, none of those top tier hurt more enemies anywhere that I saw. There were green dragons by Breckenary, and I thought about going back there, but I didn't remember what the tile set was, if that was going to be any faster than anything else. That might be the only place I would think of having gone back to grind.
Yeah, the wizards they did so much damage in the first 45 minutes that I just didn't really want to ever see one again.
Yeah, and they were just everywhere. And I felt like if I'd gotten an early metal slime too. I mean, it was early enough that the experience wasn't super crazy. I think it was like 90 XP. But I knew, just like, because the only thing you could find once I had the sword, I would fight the wizards, and then that's just all you would see everywhere across the map. So I'm sure, like, I debated later on in the map as to whether that was a good call having fought them, because it's literally the only thing I was running into during exploration. I feel like that probably added up over the seed to kind of make the difference here. Because it sounds like we probably had the same amount of dives and, the same amount of general horridness.
Yeah, I started after DL2 knocked me out. I reloaded over at Cantlin and started the dive again. I think I was 2 or 3 floors down, and then I realized that I didn't actually stay at the inn to refresh my magic. So I was down in the 20s or 30s. It's just, oh man.
Yeah, I think on the DL2 fight I lost, I decided.
Yeah, I was so shell shocked, and that was the first time nerves really kicked in. I thought I was just so gone.
Yeah. No. Definitely. And was this your first race too? First turn?
I was in the Winter League.
Oh, okay.
Also.
All right. Well, it's getting kind of late, and I think we're going to head on over to another channel here in a little bit. Before we take off, do either of you have any last thoughts?
Well, just GG Stags. It was a good win, and hopefully we get a good draw next week, and maybe we'll meet again in the brackets if things shake out right.
Absolutely. Here's hoping, and GG. That was an interesting one, and thanks to Camion for doing the restream, and Elmore St. James and Lavkian for commentating. And I didn't see who was tracking today.
Camion was pulling double duty.
Oh, the champion. Thank you, Double E then, Camion.
Yes, thank you very much to Cami and Ornakai, one of our champion trackers, and doing a great job restreaming. Lavkian joining me in the commentator's booth, keeping me, when I get in this kind of mode where I don't know what to say, he steps in and says stuff. We have a number of matches coming up, 7 more this week. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have myself, Elmore St. James versus Chromaticalism at 1700. At 8 p.m., we have Yakko Wacko 20 versus CyberDark 86. At 10 p.m., we have DK9146 versus Harrison. And at 10:45 Eastern, we have Monjour Slime versus our good friend Edge. All 4 are going to be great races tomorrow. So we don't have the channels assigned just yet. They will be posted in the Restream channel of the DWR Discord tomorrow morning at some point. If you are not a member of our DWR Discord, please join. The link should be in chat. And we're a friendly community, and we love new players, and we love enjoying this great game. With that, Lafkin, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that just about covers it. Yeah, once again, amazing race. Please go ahead and drop a follow on both our runners, JJ Schmidt and Stags28, putting on a marathon of a show here. So much effort expended just in week 1. So much more excitement awaits. And I'm not sure exactly where we're sending it over, Elmore. Do you want to close it out here?
I will. In a few minutes or a few seconds, we'll be heading over to Nest Cardinality, who's running a casual seed of Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Great channel to follow as well. With that, I am Elmore St. James here with Lafkin and Kamina Ronokai. You guys have a great night.
Stay safe, everyone. Alrighty, well, GG's to both of you. I'm going to go ahead and head out and try to maybe snag a nap, because I do have to work tonight. So, yeah.
One sec, I hosted the wrong channel. My bad, guys.
Oh, oops. It happens. Anyway, GG's good night, guys.